Hi, today I'm here to talk about the Divergent series by Veronica Roth, specifically the last book in the series, Allegiant. And today I'm going to talk about this book series in light of bioethics. This is Allegiant. It takes place in dystopian Chicago after the apocalypse, and the society there is divided into factions. There's the erudite, which are the knowledge-seeking, the candor, which are the truth-seeking, the dauntless, who are the brave, the amity, who are the kind, and the abnegation, who are the self-giving, or the selfless. And in this society, at the age of 16, every young adult has to take an aptitude test to decide whether they're going to stay with their original faction, which they were born into, or whether they will change factions in order to put themselves to a more useful purpose in society. There are some citizens, such as Beatrice Pryor, who take the aptitude test and show aptitudes for more than one faction, and they are called divergent. And Triss is very strongly divergent. She shows an aptitude for 3 factions, and she shocks her family by leaving her home faction of abnegation and choosing dauntless, which is radically different from abnegation. The dauntless are brave and strong and very loud and boisterous, but the abnegation are very quiet and selfless, living their lives only to serve others. Now fast forward to Allegiant. In the meantime, the government has decided that the divergent are a threat to society, and they are seeking to destroy them. And the erudite, who are sort of in charge, have waged a war to seek out all the divergent and to destroy them in order to protect some hidden information. Well, Beatrice finds the information and releases it to society, and it turns out to be a video of one of her ancestors saying that when their society is full of the divergent population, then the divergent need to leave the compound, which is Chicago, and go to the outside world and help them. Well, following this new information, Beatrice and her boyfriend, Tobias, leave Chicago only to find out that their entire lives were a lie. The government had manipulated people genetically in the past in order to have them with certain qualities such as kindness, which would be the amity, or bravery, which would be the dauntless. However, this didn't work out well, so the government put all these people in a compound in order to have them become genetically pure again, which would be the divergent. And so when they find this out, their entire lives are shattered because Triss is divergent. However, Tobias is not, so he's considered genetically damaged. Now for some of the science that takes place behind Allegiant. There's psychological, social, and genetic manipulation which occurs. For psychological, when the characters find out that everything that they have been taught in their lives is a lie, it takes them to a completely different place in their psyche. They're so very confused about their lives and everything they've ever been taught, causing them to have an existential crisis in their lives. For the social manipulation, society has been divided into these factions which are not natural, and so therefore the divisions among them create these dividing lines which separate them as a society. And then for genetic, obviously these people's entire beings have been changed by the government in these experiments which took place, which obviously alters the entire thread of society as a whole. For us, here in the present day, we don't have so much of a problem with genetic manipulation as the people in Allegiant do. However, it is becoming to be an issue as science progresses. With in vitro fertilization, we now have the ability to choose the eye color, the hair color, the gender of a child, and how long will it be before it progresses to where we can pick out certain virtues for our child to have, or certain intellects. In Rebecca Tyler's article, Transhumanism, Taking the Place of Our Creator,
Eugenics,
she says,
in its attempt to control the direction of human evolution, did create a world where the lesser humans were second-class citizens, whose rights were forfeited to the greater good determined by the elite.
why is genetic manipulation an issue, both for the general public and for Catholics? Well, for the general public, It would create an existential crisis in the human psyche. People would become confused about what their role in life is supposed to be, their parents, all of that. And for Catholics, it violates the dignity of the human person by resorting to utilitarianism. That is, a person is worth only what they can contribute to society. And according to Dignitas Personae, the church document, genetic engineering other than medical treatment would harm a peaceful coexistence of humans and create an unjust domination of man over man. And according to Donum Vitae, the church document released just before Dignitas Personae, genetic engineering is contrary to the dignity of the human person, and choosing predetermined characteristics contributes to this contrariness. In Father Barron's video on the Hunger Games, he attributes the issue of dystopian novels and why we're so fascinated with them to the practice of society scapegoating and human sacrifice. That is, when there's dissent among people, we look for a scapegoat. We look for a reason to blame it in order to dissolve the dissent. And human sacrifice has been present throughout literature, throughout society, back to the Roman Empire, which we can see in these dystopian novels. It's books like Allegiant by Veronica Roth and Frankenstein by Mary Shelley that really explore the bounds of science and show us that we need to proceed with caution in science and technology and really be careful in pushing it too far. And literature like this shows us that and explores that without actually seeing the consequences of it. Thank you for watching my video today, and I really encourage you to read the Divergent series because it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you!